It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. It is IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again, everyone. Good evening, wherever you might be. I am Gary Gonzo, and welcome to P1's Broadcasting signature presentation of Round 11, Week 11 of Season 2 of 2025 of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split, coming to you from the final crown jewel of the season, Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, with our coverage presented by Topia Systems. A big strength of field here today, a 54-71, and we're in the final 2 weeks of the season to decide a champion. Do we get a first-time champion, or do we get a driver that could possibly sneak in there and dethrone our current leader, Kyle Glenworth? We shall see, as we're going to have a slugfest here tonight at one of everybody in the community's favorite tracks here at Auto Club Speedway. I like to call it California Speedway in Fontana. Welcome again, everybody. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Justin Petschauer. Qualification just wrapping up. And Luis Gonzalez-Nunez. Gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast.
Well, it's actually great to be back here in Fontana. Not behind the wheel this time. Because let's just say I still have that bad memory of what happened earlier in the season here in the iRacing IndyCar Series. But once again, guys, the king is back atop his throne for qualifying. But it's going to be, what I've heard, it's a mix of a pack race. We got crazy lead changes, some cautions, no cautions. As we say here in Vegas, let's roll the dice and see what we get.
All right, let's get in today's starting lineup from California Speedway here, otherwise known as Auto Club. There are your conditions. It's a hot one out there, 78 degrees on the ambient, 123 on the track temperature, as we are still loading in, as much of the top three have not loaded in yet, but still we can get in tonight's starting lineup. And go right ahead, Justin.
Well, like I said a little bit ago, starting on top his throne, the king, Robert Malechka. Next to him, Jason Brophy. Adriano Pinero will be starting third. Fourth will be Dave Mitchell. And rounding out the top five, Trace Shadid. Sixth will be Josh Ward. Seventh, Ty Quilla. Eighth, it'll be Kyle Glenworth. Ninth, it'll be John Ellis. And 10th, it'll be Tony Bizzarro. Andre Castro start 11th. 12th, it'll be Jacob Collins. Nate Brody will be starting 13th. And rounding out the cars that put down a qualifying time, guy I used to run against in the NASCAR iRacing Fix Series, Mr. Sean Peleg, with a 33.061. And for the rest of the field, it's going to be starting 15th, Jacob Oster. 16th, Philip Kraus. 17th, Seb Alexander. 18th, Rusty Plant. Hopefully he knows how to plant his car around this track.
He's pretty good.
I've seen him do pretty good. Yeah, I've seen him do pretty good here. 19th, it'll be another guy I used to run against in the NASCAR iRacing Series, Jose Solis Jr. 20th, it'll be Mohamed Omir. 21st, it'll be Chris Wetson. Rounding up the field, this 22-car field, it'll be Matthew Ponto.
And the Domino's hot one.
Oh, he knows what he's doing tonight.
And that is actually the livery driven by, because it has the Dutch Boy sponsorship on there. It has the that is the livery that Arie Luyendyk drove in the 1990 Indy 500 win there.
He's running it. He must have been running it during the iRacing Indy 500 for the 35th anniversary of that win. What do you say, guys? It's 2 miles. It's a hot track. The track may be gone in real life, but at least we get to keep it here on iRacing. Under these very hot track temperature conditions, anything can and will happen at speeds of over 230 plus miles an hour. What do you say, Gary? Ready to send them on their way?
And 2 Larson liveries. Yes, let's do this.
God. I did not notice that until now.
Here we go. Green flag in the air here for 120 miles of racing. Top splits here at Auto Club Speedway. Big jump from Malechka, Brophy, Pinero, your top three into one.
Still side by side between Pinero and Brophy as they go off into turn number 1 here. Malechka already sitting pretty with that lead, but as the old saying goes, that draft is powerful here. And we already see a couple of cars getting a little bit of understeer, almost contact between Clenworth and Pizarro. 3 wide as they go down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Already a change for the lead as they come off of turn number 4. That was Adriano Pinero, who had a huge run on Robert Malechka. But we know Malechka, he knows how to get around this place, and he will know how to get around Adriano Pinero. Already a couple of cars throwing some blocks here, but they are still 3 wide as they go through 1 and 2 here, using all the available track here.
Robert won earlier this season at the sister track at Michigan. That's his home course. And he got the win on our first crown jewel. Alexander Russell from Satellite Racing got the win at Indianapolis for the second crown jewel. So no Triple Crown winner this season yet again. But somebody would like to get the win here tonight in a highly contested, very strong strength of field. Mitchell goes purple that time by. Here is the scoring tree.
Turn 1. Jacob Collins. Jacob Collins. Yep, that was a Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson's game.
Lucky Oster, because Jacob hit Oster and forgiven for him by netcode.
Netcode giveth and netcode taketh.
Now let's watch this again. Going into there are 2 Larson liveries in the neighborhood.
Too big of a run.
And he
no.
just, that is almost, who was that? That was Solis? Was that Solis?
Jose Solis.
Yeah, Jose.
Cardinal sin right there. I mean, you know the closing rates of these cars. We've seen them in these cars before. Cardinal sin just to show up in a Larson livery and then bump someone like that. Oh.
What I'm seeing though from my point of view though, Gary, netcode giveth and netcode taketh.
Now let's take this, watch this again here from Solis's point of view. Just getting really close. And that's the thing. I mean, you should know in these cars when you get into that neighborhood of when you should probably lift. But again, we'll watch this as he's coming down the front straight there. We're going to watch Kraus right ahead of him. Kraus going to get out of the way, and then big run. Here it comes. And I think a lot of checking up is happening in front, and then boom. I don't know. I think you should have saw it coming. Just me. Chat, chime in if you feel so inclined. And we are already under caution here as a number of drivers coming to pit road, including Jose Solis, who will be getting a new front wing.
I will say this, though. That closing rate speed in the draft going into turn 1 for Jose Solis Jr., 233 miles an hour.
Yeah, we will bring up some telemetry and everyone can experience that kind of best we can firsthand when we ride with some of these drivers here in the in-cars. But your leader is Malechka, Pinero second, Mitchell now third, Brophy fourth, Ty in fifth, Josh Ward sixth, Clindy seventh, Castro eighth, Shadid ninth, Ellis in 10th. The rule set tonight, this is a 2-mile oval that no longer exists down in SoCal. 60 laps, 120 iRacing miles, no fast repairs. 3 sets of tires, 1 in the car, 2 in the pits, 55 miles per hour on pit road speed limit. Of course, this is the place where the fastest lap ever has been turned in an IndyCar for an official qualifying session, a speed of 241.428 miles per hour, turned by 2003 Indy 500 winner Gilles de Ferran. He set that back in 2000. It's hard to believe we are 25 years away from that moment, and we've never got remotely close to that speed ever again. Used to be back in IndyCar racing, certainly in the 80s. Every year the speeds would kind of go up and up and up, and we've all been kind of hovering around this 233, 234 range at Indianapolis here for the longest time. But in the eyes of safety, that seems to be the magic number of where these cars are kind of operate best in terms of all their technology for safety, all their technology performance, right in that range. The IndyCar track record, and I say IndyCar, that's the IndyCar IRL track record, is held by four-time Indy 500 winner Helio Castroneves. Set it back in 2003. He turned a lap of 226.757. The IndyCar fastest race in IndyCar history at 400 miles was also set here, also in 2003. That was Sam Hornish Jr., where he averaged a speed of 207.1 en route to a green flag, no caution victory here back then. All-time winners here for the IndyCar Series: Sam Hornish, Jimmy Vasser, Adrian Fernandez was two, and of course, the big one with Adrian is Adrian's the only driver to win two here, one in kart and one in IRL. Getting ready to go green. Your leader is Malechka, Pinero, and Britt Mitchell as your top three, getting ready to take us back to racing.
Piece of paper that I just got handed here. One track is already confirmed for the season 4 2025 schedule. I'm not name dropping it, but I'm just going to say I'm tempted to run it. Back under green, and it's going to be another good start for Robert Malechka, but here comes Dave Mitchell and Adriana Pinero with Jason Brophy, Ty Quilla, Josh Ward, Kyle Clenworth, and Andre Castro right behind him.
Yeah, the season 3 schedule has been posted already. We can talk about that when we get back into the race here. But here comes Pinero on the other side of Malechka in the 3, and he will clear him.
Another good run by Adriano Pinero as he was going through 3 and 4. Already up 4. He's going to take the lead. He will lead this lap this time by, but here comes Robert Malechka. He's going to use that draft. He's going to get the momentum as they go up towards turn number 1. Down to the bottom of the speedway, swinging it out as they come down the backstretch here. Already there was a bit of a 3-wide situation back there. Clenworth saying thank you for not wrecking him, as well as another guy. But already, as you see, these guys are running up essentially what you would call the Kyle Larson line, running up against that wall. Oh, who was that?
That was Josh Ward.
Okay, so I wasn't seeing things, but as I was saying, though, you'll see these guys run up against that high line up near the wall. Essentially what you would kind of call the Kyle Larson line, as it's collectively known as now. Because you'll see them running around trying to find a clean air, and here comes Andre Castro to the inside. As they go up into turn number 3 here, he's going to try and get past Brophy. Brophy slams the door, throws a ton of dirty air on the front end of that car. He will wash out and have to back out. He will lose that position to Ty Quilla as they come to complete lap number 9, moving on to lap 10.
Lewis, looks like we got Castro in an IndyCar livery finally. Did we shame him enough?
Let's see, where's Castro? It's okay, actually. That pretty goes with the Clendy over there. Should be shame of him about the livery. But no.
That's Jacob Abel's livery. It didn't make the Indy 500, but
at least it's something.
At least it's something. Baby steps are occurring here. We like the progress. That is a kind of a remake or an homage to the Danny Sullivan 1985 Indy 500. And again, hard to believe, and they talked about it so many times during the Fox broadcast. 40 years ago, that race occurred. The famous spin and win at Indianapolis.
4 years before I popped into existence, but I still feel old.
I remember hearing that race on the radio. Go ahead.
There was a bit of contact there. There was a bit of contact through turn 4 with Sean Pellig and John Ellis.
Ellis in the U.S. Air Force Connor Daly livery.
Reminds us of the USAF Thunderbirds scheme that he ran in 2018. Because I'm going to be honest, that paint scheme would actually fit perfectly on this current configuration of the IR18.
Nate Brody. You've seen Nate in a couple of these races before. We've also seen him in some IndyCar races in the FIS. Brody, he's in 13th Jacob Oster with the purple lap behind this two. If you enjoy P1's coverage in the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split presented by Topia Systems and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts.
Speaking of iRacing broadcasts, oh wow, Brophy got some good amount of oversteer coming up a turn 2. He saved it. He will lose 2 positions, though. He will lose it to Ty Quilla and Kyle Quinworth to take him right off of turn number 4. But as I was saying, though, before that, we do have one broadcast, and it's another IIS race. Tell them about it.
Later this week, Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, the IndyCar schedule outside of Indianapolis. That's right, Indy's done for the season and for the year, but there's still a rest of the schedule. And in the IIS, we do not have to deal with someone with the likes of Alex Palou. So the championship's still wide open in the IIS. That's Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern time right here on P1. Myself, and then we'll have Ryan Skywalker and Antonio Estrada making his return from his second ever Indy 500 this weekend.
Also to note of that broadcast, that is actually going to be the last ever race of the current rules package that we have before the new build comes out.
Yeah, we talked about that in the interview with the General Kevin Burrell for his podium spot at Indianapolis for the IIS last week. And we're asking, how do you feel about being the points leader knowing the rules packet's going to get changed on you midway through the season? He's like, well, we all have to deal with it.
Not just that, but we may also get some rain races thrown in for the road and street circuits. And if that does happen, get ready for a whole new race.
Castro and Mitch mixing it up for third and fourth. Mitch way up high, Castro way down low. A whole host of red cars, second, third, and fourth.
I don't know if it's politically correct to call them the Red Army because of that. But the Red Army is charging up to the...
You can call these the Red Army. The Red Army is no longer around anymore.
But you get the gist, though.
Yes.
Here we go.
Let's call it the new Red Army.
Yeah. And back to the front goes Adriano Pinero. Still side by side behind him, though, between Dave Mitchell, Andre Castro, and Robert Malechka. These guys are they're swap drafting, kind of like what we saw at Indianapolis, both in the 500 and the 500K. Already they're trying to make it 3 wide there with Adriano Pinero. Dave Mitchell to the high side. Andre Castro to the low side by side between these two as they go down the backstretch. Clendy I think wants to get up there, but he's probably fuel saving.
And speaking of Clendy, here are the points coming into today's races. Clendy, Richards not in the lineup. Tyquilla third, Pizarro fourth, Pinero fifth. There's a remainder of your top 20. I don't want to keep it on the screen too long. Everyone get a shot at it. If not, freeze your screen here. Come back when you're done seeing who you want to see and look at for points. But there we go. Get back to the action at hand.
There was almost contact between Andre Castro and Dave Mitchell as they were coming off of turn 4 that last lap. Will they be able to suffice and give each other room as they come up turn number 4 here? Yeah, they will. They slap back into single file here, running up against the wall there. Basically the traditional line that we would normally see here in NASCAR and IndyCar, both kart and the IRL. And already Clenworth down to the bottom of the speedway, coming off of turn number 2 here. Andre Castro gets a little bit of dirty air tossed on his front nose down the backstretch here. Clendy is trying to see what he can do to see if he can try and get around Andre Castro, but it's not going to work. He will remain where he's at as they come off of turn number 4.
Remember, Mitchell started this season strong with a win at Legacy, Texas, and was the leader for the early portion of this season in the points. Kraus, purple lap a little bit further back, 2:21 flat.
Also note the track temperature has dropped by 2 degrees. It's still hot, but it's 121. So these cars are definitely starting to slide around. They're probably burning up their that right rear tire just a tad bit. But don't look now. Here comes Tyquilla. He's trying to get a run. He's got help with. He's got Jason Brophy right behind him as they go off towards turn number 1 here. Brophy down to the bottom of the speedway underneath Tyquilla. But Brophy will hit that brick wall that is thrown by Kyle Glenworth. He will lose a position to Jason Brophy. Tyquilla, correction.
Now, a number of cars did come in under that lap 5 caution. So if we do get green flag pit stops, there will be a little bit of a different strategy at play. But right now, it is looking like for the rest of the field, green flag pit stops are not that far into the future for these leaders at the moment.
And you got a number of these cars here under a blanket from first all the way down to about 11th.
Yeah, that's Shadid and Pelig back there in 10th and 11th on the tail end of this field. And slowly creeping in, reeling him in, is Jacob Oster. And bringing with him is Seb Alexander. And also, not too far behind, Phil Kraus.
Phil Kraus is just picking his way through the field. He's been known to do that. That is the reason why we say he's one of the best. Doesn't matter if it's in the IIS, the Open Set, Indy 500, Fixed Set, Indy 500, or even the Indy Oval Fixed here. He knows what he's doing, and that's why usually when you come in to a race with him in it, you're pretty much probably going to be running for second place.
Best in class.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Kyle Glenworth, though, side by side underneath. Jason Brophy there. Brophy gets a little bit of dirty air. He tried to go down, but he realized that Glenworth was down there. He's holding that middle groove there. Oh, and he has to try and slow down a little bit as he almost ran into the back of Andre Castro there. Glenworth is in the middle of a sandwich here. He doesn't know where he's going to go. Brophy down to the bottom of the speedway. And is he going to be able to get past Andre Castro? Yes, he will. He's going to bring Glenworth. Oh, contact there with
almost
Castro.
Almost. I think Castro wanted to attack right away, and then realized as he made the move, he might even heard the call inside and ducked out of it.
Some fierce racing already. Here comes Andre Castro. He's going to try and get underneath Jason Brophy as they go off towards turn number 3, side by side. And once again, Adriano Pinero back to the lead, but still side by side between Brophy and Andre Castro as they come off of turn number 4.
Coming to the halfway point here very shortly. Only the 1 caution. Why not? Let's go 3 wide for the lead in the 1.
That was a temporary 3 wide situation, but Brophy will take the lead for now. He is dragging along. Robert Maleshka still side by side, but here comes Adriano Pinero 3 wide for the lead as they go off towards turn number 3.
If you boys want to play 3 wide, I'll play 3 wide. That's fine. I'll go low. Get it back into turn 3 and 4. The lead down the front straight. Teammates working together in 2nd and 3rd. Mitch in 4th. Clindy in 5th. Castro back there as well. We also have another teammate involved here. Tyquilla, teammate to Clindy. He's in 7th. Oh, car coming off sideways. Chris Wetz into the inside wall off of 2. And do we see caution?
No, he is not. He's not on the racing surface. That will not count. But here comes Kyle Glenworth. He's going in.
And Wetz is going to tow. He is already into pit road. Scheduled stop here now for Clindy, the points leader in the Indy Oval Championship. Looking to get that first series championship that he's been fighting for so long. Just a couple of races away from doing that. Deep into the box here at lap 30 at the midway point here at Auto Club Speedway. Down and away. Tyquilla, teammate's going to follow suit.
Back up to the front, though, we got Tony Pizarro going underneath Dave Mitchell as they come through turns 3 and 4 here. Mitchell, Brophy, and Andre Castro to the high side up against that wall coming off of turn number 4. Pizarro will slide in and almost get turned by Dave Mitchell. Mitchell will go down to the bottom underneath Tony Pizarro as they go off towards turn number 1 here. Side by side, and it's not going to work because of all that turbulent air that's being thrown on Dave Mitchell's front nose.
Pizarro on the podium for the last 2 races here. We're going to go 3 wide again into 3. Castro in the middle. Sliding up the racetrack is Pinero, gets to the wall. Oh, Pizarro right up in front of Brophy.
So many close calls here, but this is why we love coming to Auto Club Speedway. So much excitement that you can witness here in IndyCar, more so than NASCAR. But nonetheless.
Oh my God.
What's up?
Oh my God. So, this happened 3 laps ago. John Ellis spun in turn 2. Omier hit him. The wheel went off, and then he came back again. So Omier's lucky for him. He's still in race over there, but a little bit damage on the car.
And Adriano Pinero went to pit road while all that was happening there. And here comes the rest of the field. They're already signaling that they're coming in.
See what happened with...
And not yellow.
Yeah, we'll see what happened here.
Turn 2, sorry.
He said it was turn 2. Watching it. Oh, grabbed. Oh, gosh. Apron bad. Oh, and yeah. And he's got a floppy side pod right now. That is for sure. Coming to pit road, we do have 2 of the guys that have been fighting for the lead. This is Castro and Brophy.
Cars coming off the pit road in front of the leaders down the backstretch here. Ellis being one of them.
That is Ellis with the slightly damaged IR18 and this lead quad of drivers. It's Malechka, Pizarro. Now coming to pit road is Ward. He was part of that group before. Pizarro up 9 spots now to the lead. Lap 36 of 60. Green flag pit stops underway.
Oster bounced off the wall. He got caught up in dirty air.
Maybe it's the 5th or 10th time he hit the wall, but I see it for maybe on all these 37 laps in the wall. Kissing, little bit, touching, going slow, and then again. But still over there, actually.
Pinero with the fresh tires.
That's all.
Oh, no!
Oh, that's 2 cars. That is Phil Krause, one of them. Solis Jr., another. And they're into the wall in 3, and we are under caution. And that's exactly what all those guys early didn't want to see.
Weird over Krause. He hit 2 times the wall, and then he went to the left. Wow.
He hit the bump. He hit the bump down the backstretch.
Oh.
He hit the bump just the wrong way, and it upset the car.
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
This is a super rare mistake by, and I'm going to say it's a mistake because you just do not see PK do this very often. And in most cases, when you're around Larson livery, and I know Solis has a bit of a reputation in the community about being a bit of a, well, let's say a Fox 1, right? A bit of a missile. So, you know, when you see that initially, you're like, I wonder who caused that. But then when you watch the replay, it's a different story. Oh, it almost got Oster.
Yeah, there was nothing that Jose Solis could do there. He was just a passenger along for the ride.
And luckily, they didn't pick up more cars. I mean, they went right off the racetrack and then back up onto the banking right in front of the racing line, right through the racing line.
Oh, and that was a hard impact on the outside wall for PK.
So all those that stopped early are in a bit of a pickle. I'm wondering if they're going to get the wave around. Where is the pace car? The leader would be... Yeah, there we go. They will get the wave around. And Seb Alexander is actually going to be the leader of that group. In fact, if they would have stayed green, he would have picked up the lead, I believe. He had a great pit stop. He is now in 11th. So 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Brophy and Ward, they also stopped. They will get the wave around and join the tail end of the pack, but they're going to have to fight back up through traffic in these last 20 laps.
So we are in the line when they're getting more excited this race, actually, to be honest. Like it always happen in the super speedway. Not super speedway, but anyways. But with 15 to go or 10 to go, it's getting more like excited, and I hope it's gonna be like to the checker flag. If it's happen like this, we maybe see a 3 wide close and somebody gonna win for a nose. Who knows? Maybe.
If you're just joining us, this is P1's coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split, presented to you by Topia Systems, coming to you from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, where we got 20 to go here when we go green next time by. If you enjoying our coverage of tonight's race, would like to monetarily support us, please find a link to our GoFundMe campaign in the stream description. It's also pinned in chat. We also do take super chats as well. We realize times are tough, so any donation, no matter the amount, is greatly appreciated. Topia Systems is the presenting sponsor of the Tuesday Night Top Split here on P1. Topia is where quality and affordability go full throttle, from custom rigs to powerful pre-builds. Topia delivers top-tier performance without all the sticker shot. Built with premium parts and backed by a team that cares. Every system is tuned for gaming greatness. Topia Systems, built right, priced right, game on. To learn more, check out their links in the description. If you like what you see here graphically, this is a Topia system. If you're looking to get a big rig upgrade, check them out. All the information you need are in the description. Getting ready to go green here with 20 to go. Your leader, Maleska, Mitch, Pizarro, Osterpelig. That is your top 5. Here we go.
20 to go this time by, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to try and beat Robert Malechka here. Will it be Matt Duponto in the Dutch Boy Domino's Pizza scheme? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
And Ponto back in 10th. But he has a whole flock of angry bees right behind him. And here comes, here's one of them, Andre Castro down low. He takes a big dive into 3 and 4 down to the bottom.
That was actually Adriano Pinero, not Andre Castro.
No, we got Castro there.
Yeah, but the one that made the pass, though, was Adriano Pinero. But it's going to be interesting to see. We also have Brophy, Quilla, Glenworth, like I said, Andre Castro, and now Seb Alexander with the run on the inside. Not going to be enough, but here comes Andre Castro halfway down the backstretch. Still side by side, a little bit of cloud cover here to cool the track down just a tiny bit, not a lot. It's going to be interesting to see. Still side by side between Andre Castro and Matthew Ponto. Andre Castro backs out of it. He's going to try again, and he's going to look underneath Matthew Ponto as they go off towards turn number 1.
Meanwhile, we got a big battle up front, and we're going to try to keep eyes on both those packs as the top 4 is Malechka, Oster, Mitchell, and Pizarro. We know in certain races that Oster and Malechka are working together, and they might be doing that again in this one. And right now, they are trying to lock out Mitch and Pizarro, and they seem to be a pretty decent job of doing that. 18 to go as Oster leads at the line.
Here we go. We got a 3-wide situation here between Clenworth, Alexander, and Ponto. Ponto will lose out on that one. It is going to be Clenworth who's going to get a 2-for-1 move there, but here comes Seb Alexander. I think he's going to try and help Kyle Clenworth, though, to hold off Matthew Ponto. Ponto under fire again as they go off towards turn number 3 here.
Whoa, big move on the high side, and a big head of steam. Josh Ward, as he rolled up on that one, I think Ponto might have had to roll out of it.
Yeah, he did, but also Ty Quilla coming off on turn number 4. He scraped that wall. Oh.
16 to go. Hey, P1 is excited to announce a brand new Crown Jewel event for the iRacing IndyCar community, a 600-kilometer, 186-lap battle at Michigan International Speedway on June 7th. An all-star invite-only roster of the IndyCar iRacing community will take the grid, competing for over $400 in prizes. Applications to participate can be found on the P1 Discord server. The invite to that server is in the description. Find the P1 600 channel for that application. June 7th in Michigan will be a race to remember. If you like what you see here tonight, you're going to see more of that back in on the high banks of Michigan in early June. Check us out, 2 p.m. Eastern, the P1 600 right here on P1 Broadcasting.
Oh, Dave Mitchell threading the needle there with Tony Pizarro as they came off turn number 2. Dave Mitchell's getting a little ballsy here. I saw some action in the back. I couldn't see who it was, though, but it was a little chaotic.
Pinheiro kind of, nope, you don't want to pass over here to say to Andres Castro, no. He hold it over there, Pinheiro, because Trasco came in with a huge speed to make the pass. Whoa.
Brody up in the wall off of 2, right next to Pinheiro.
That turbulent air giving these guys so much oversteer. This is not what you would.
And that is a solid lick by Pinheiro into the wall off of 4.
Oh, no,
The take slapper there. It's going to be interesting to see if that damaged anything on the car. So far, it's not looking like it affected it much because he's got that run on the inside there as they go off towards turn number 3.
And just in case anyone's wondering, the strength of field tonight, a 54.71. This is one of our highest strength of fields ever. Not our highest ever, one of the highest ever. I believe the Indy race we had a couple weeks ago, that was our highest ever, a 54.97. A lot of talent on the racetrack here tonight. Oh! Making me look bad when I say a lot of talent here. They start weaving back and forth.
It's a quote Steve Matchett from 2015 here. Wow, 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 wow.
11 to go. And you can throw a blanket over the top 13 or so. Here's Pinheiro down low, trying to use the draft of a Malechka to pull himself through down on the low side of the racetrack. But down the stretch, Malechka's not going to give a lending hand at all.
So much action going on. I'm trying to see which one to call, which battle to call.
Brophy down low. We're going to go 3 wide off the corner. Brody up high. O'Meara in the middle.
Side by side between Brody and Brophy. Brophy backs out of it and will slot in behind, but he will slot in front of Kyle Clenworth there. I'm like you. I thought I saw somebody bounce off the wall just a tad bit.
There are a number of people wanting to start the virtual destruction of this place by trying to tear down the turn 4 wall.
They're getting close to it. They're getting close to it. Maybe a little too close. Oh.
Whoa.
Was that Sean Pellig?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Pellig, though, forcing his way up towards trying to get... Ew!
David also, too.
Yeah, everybody's now just starting to throw haymakers because they realize it's only 6 to go. Good Lord.
Whoa.
Nice. I don't want to say
Oh, he's
blocking,
loose.
But,
He is loose. You can see the back end of his car wanting to dance around a little bit. That's going to cost him a little momentum down the straightaway.
Oh, but I think that the damage is starting to affect Pinero because he's now losing positions. He's lost a few positions already.
I think if he can stay in the draft, Lewis, what do you think? If he stay in the draft, he should be okay, right?
Yes, definitely yes. Definitely have to be okay. It's like a Omir. You remember the incident on lap 30, so he have a damage for sure, but he's still on draft. So I think you need to make the attack in the maybe last lap, or maybe in the last corner to maybe win the race or maybe stay on the podium.
Oh, Ward.
Caution!
Oh, Jello.
Josh Ward.
Yeah, he had the door slammed shut on him going down the backstretch. And I believe it was Ty Quilla.
Yeah, he tried to avoid Quilla. Oof.
And with 5 to go, that's going to set up a sprint to the end here. And this is going to be really interesting. Let's watch this. We are watching Josh Ward as he's coming off of 2. Ty sliding up.
The jealous because Matthew Ponto was the last car on the back. That's why.
That was a bit of a slice there on Josh.
And once he got into that grass and stuff, all that dirt and debris got up on the tires. And when you get dirt and debris on your tires going through the grass, trying to do a little lawn care, the old saying goes that you're just along for the ride.
All right, so let's set this thing up. Once again, everybody, if you are just joining us, you are watching P1's coverage of round 11 of 12 of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday Night Top Split, presented to you by Topia Systems, coming to you from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, where Jacob Oster, who came so close to winning a couple of seasons ago the Triple Crown, he won 2 jewels of the Triple Crown, did not win the third, is our leader. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you'll miss out on the next race. Also, don't forget your commentary team by sending a donation to our GoFundMe campaign. Link is in the description, or you can send us a super chat. We certainly would appreciate it. Let's set this up for everybody. Here, we're getting ready to go green. Probably, I'm going to guess, with 2 to go.
What do you say? Let's take a look at the pace car, shall we?
So
if the lights go off of the pace car.
Yep. Oster is your leader. Malechka is second. Mitchell third. Pinero fourth. Pizarro fifth. Seb Alexander has worked his way up to 6. Remember, Alexander was kind of leading that second group for a while. He was the first of those that were on that strategy where they pitted a little bit early and then got caught by the caution. They got the wave around, but he's up as 6 now. Castro 7th. Omir 8th. Trace Shadid in 9th, Pellig in 10th. Our championship leader is Clindy. He is 13th, and he needs to do a bit of a run here if he wants to at least lights out on the pace car. At least wants to make this a good penultimate round of the championship. So next week, which we know is New Hampshire, is not going to have the participation that this week has. So this is a last-ditch chance effort to get as many points as possible before going into the slimmer week next week of New Hampshire. So we will watch him, but it's going to be Oster, Malechka, Mitchell, and Pinero, and Pizarro. Your top 5 taking the green flag with 2 to go.
I thought it was. What was Ward doing there? Ward tried to get up into the single file line up against the wall and made contact with it. He reached down and he hit his wheel by accident.
Okay. It happens. It happens. We are not professional drivers. We're semi-pro at best. Look at the Oster down on the apron, do a little bit of a scrub.
If I remember correctly, I think it's pronounced New Hampshire, as I say in Boston.
I don't know. I can ask my family members that all live there to give a proper. But I do know that Loudon is just outside of Concord. Getting ready to go. Green flag racing here. Leader is Oster. Then Malechka. Here we go. A sprint to the end.
And already a big stack up on this restart here. They're almost trying to win.
Wow. Ward right in front of Clindy.
It was a huge stack up as they were trying to get back going here. There was a little bit of gamesmanship. I could have sworn that was trouble off of turn 2.
This race is done. This race is done. That is Castro in the wall. This race is done.
Oh, hey, Braun.
And I believe your winner will be Jacob Oster coming to the white flag here.
Yep, he did the one thing you never do. Apron bad in turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was setting up for one heck of a crazy finish, and it's...
Let's try to fast forward to where we see Castro get to the apron, goes down low under Seb Alexander, and just that car over-rotates to the bottom, actually, and then he grabs the apron, then comes around right in front of O'Meara for like the second or third time this race. Poor O'Meara. But getting the win at a crown jewel race, well, that's no different or nothing out of the ordinary for Jacob Oster. The Worm Man gets the win here at California, followed by Malechka and then David Mitchell.
Oh, and they're going to go hit the jump on the front, as it's tradition when they come here.
And there you see Jacob Oster with the win under caution over Robert Malechka. Dave Mitchell third, Pinero fourth, Pizarro in fifth, Seb Alexander in sixth, O'Meara with an interesting race that we've talked about. He comes home seventh, Trey Shadid in eighth, and Jason Brophy ninth, Pelican 10th. Josh Ward in 11th, Brody in 12th, Glendy 13th, Rusty Plant 14th, Ponto 15th. There in the Domino's Hot One, Ty Quilla 16th, John Ellis Jr. 17th, Castro fortunately not finishing his race in 18th, Philip Kraus 19th, Solis Jr. 20th. Chris Wetz with an early out in 21st, and Jacob Collins with an early out in 22nd. All right. Get some replays queued up here, and then we'll get on to the interview room here. All right. So we're going to have a pretty interesting interview room here. All right, let's get into the interview room here and talk to our podium. And I don't see Mitchell yet, so we will go ahead and all right. We will talk to Robert first, and if Mitchell shows, if Dave shows up, we will bring up. And here is Robert Mleczka. Here is Robert Mleczka in the booth with us. Dave not with us yet, but hey, Robert, P2 today, kind of a typical by the book Fontana race. Hot temperatures out there. Thought it maybe would maybe separate the field a little bit, but again, the draft just keeps everybody on top of one another.
Yeah, firstly, got a shout out to everyone that signed up for that split, and made top split, because I believe that might be our biggest SOF. You might know better than me, but 5,400 plus was awesome to see, regardless. But I wasn't really sure what to expect with this race, because we haven't had a truly hot auto club race like this in seems like at least a year. But it seemed like it spread out enough to the point where it wasn't super packy. I guess we didn't really see what would happen at the very end there, see how packy it could get. But yeah, regardless of that, just kind of didn't want to be in the hornet's nest, and just kind of stayed out front as much as I could, and planned on going along there. And I guess I maybe got a little bit of a lucky yellow. Man, I can't talk today, but
it's doing all those laps in Indianapolis,
It is, yeah. I guess I'm kind of back from vacation now, right? But and then it was a good battle with Jacob and a few other guys up there, and unfortunately we couldn't get a green flag run to the end there and put on a good show. But regardless, I'm happy with P2.
We'll just make it nice and simple tonight. Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, I think just once again, shout out to everyone that signed up. Great to see the SOF still healthy, especially especially after Indy. They're not necessarily as strong, so it's really good to see. So yeah.
A little bit of a Indy fatigue. I feel you after
100%. Still got it.
after going through an Elite Racing League 500, then a fixed, an open, and then an IIS 500K, and then the real 500. I'm kind of feeling it a little bit too. It's time to move on, but it's good to have you here, and thanks for all you do for the community. And we will catch you at the next one, New Hampshire next week if you make it. If not, we'll definitely catch you whenever you make the next lineup.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. Take care.
Yeah. There is Dave. He's here. We'll bring him up into the booth here. Hey, Dave. Welcome back to the studio here. Good to have you back. I know you had a strong start to the season. The kind of middle part of the season wasn't very favorable to you, but it looks like the second or the last part of this season is going to end pretty strong for you with a podium here at Fontana. You just kind of hung out up at the front all race long, and it really paid off, keeping you ahead of a lot of the argy-bargy or so, kind of in that mid-pack battle.
Yeah, absolutely. You get stuck back there, you end up pushing up to the wall, and usually disaster happens. So I figured I'd just hang behind the top two there, let them swap back and forth, and just keep pace with them, ride the high line, and maybe dirty the air for the people behind us.
How do you feel about this season? I know you kind of started as we were telling people, like kind of started with that win, and you were the early season points leader, and it kind of faded a little bit in the points. But this is a pretty strong season for you, getting that big first win and doing so well. You got to feel pretty decent about how this season has unfolded for you, and the prospects of future season looking stronger are definitely in the cards, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I know I got some work to do. I'd like to compare notes with some of these guys that are running up top there just to find that little bit extra. But overall, I'm very happy with how it started. And usually this time of the season, as summer starts to roll around, your mind starts to go to other places, want to hit the lake, jump on the jet ski, on the pontoon, whatever else. So,
Right.
You know how it goes.
Any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, once again, the family, they're upstairs probably tuning in on YouTube, and shout out to them, obviously, with Memorial Day, our veterans and everybody. Appreciate everything they do. Thank you for their service. And shout out to you guys. It's been a fun season. And without you guys, I don't think it'd be half as fun as it is. So thank you.
We appreciate that, and we thank you for being here. Congratulations on the successful season. Still have a round to go to kind of pad those stats. We will see you in a week or so when we get to New Hampshire.
Sounds good. Congrats to Kyle. Congrats to the top three there. Those guys deserved it for the season.
You got it. And I'm sure they will appreciate that. In fact, I think Clindy is starting to count them a little bit. And I think I got a message indicating that he might be the champion, but we'll see how that shakes out. But again, a great season for you, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Appreciate it, guys. Take care.
And let's check out Jacob. Here he is, and we'll bring him on up into the booth here. And Jacob, big win today. Like I said, no stranger to these crown jewel races. He always seemed to do so well in them. Big win here today. Unfortunately, by caution there at the end. But a good race for you. I mean, you kind of had to fight up through the pack in order to get there. And that caution kind of fell at a good time for you as you were going long while others in front of you kind of were playing a little strategy and trying to come to pit road a little bit early.
I would not call that unfortunate. I would call that fortunate because I really did not want to deal with that.
Well, talk about the mid-pack. It looked a little dicey back there at times.
It sucked. Like it would generally. I know it's probably because the high track time and the fact that I really haven't drove any track other than Indianapolis this month. So like I was just a little kind of out of it. I kind of did this race on a whim, and I was not what you would call practiced, and it showed up in that first 40 laps. So my right front tire was like 42%. That was not good, but we made it through. That's what counts.
Is the Indy fatigue real? I mean, is that a real thing? I know I was talking with Robert a little bit about it. Yeah, it
is in sim and in real life because I just drove 12 hours home yesterday to come back from Indianapolis, so I feel dead. And, I'm sitting in this chair, really actually wanting to fall asleep, but I need to eat dinner.
Well, we are not going to keep you waiting any longer. Any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone who wants to say hi to before we let you go so you can go get some dinner?
Well, thanks for Jason Brophy for telling me what tools I need to run while on the grid. And for Chris for being the drone camera through most of the race. It was fun to battle his ghost as Yarrow pushing him for most of the time I was in the traffic. But, fun day overall. Good Tuesday.
Just another Tuesday for Jacob Oster. Congratulations on the win. We'll catch you at the next one. In the meantime, go get some dinner.
All right. Thank you, Gary.
Yeah. Hey, guys, let me ask you, is the Indy fatigue real? I think everyone's kind of feeling it after 3 weeks, if you count the IIS. 4 weeks kind of for LGN and I, if you count everything with the Elite Racing Network and the Elite Racing League. I think I hate to say this, we've kind of had our fill of Indy, and we're kind of getting ready to move on for the rest of the season, the rest of the summer to some of these other tracks. And I guess that what makes the allure of Indy so great is, we get tired of it after a while because the fatigue is real. But we're so happy to be back to Indy when that time comes again, whether it be later this year or next year for a lot of these series.
Yeah, I'm like you. As much as I would love to go back and run Indy again, I'm burnt out until either later this year or next year. Who knows what? But if you heard me what I was saying, I did get handed a piece of paper in regards to the season 4 schedule. One track is confirmed, and like I said during the broadcast, I'm very tempted to run it.
Oh, so the season 4 schedule?
Just one track is already confirmed.
Just one track. I know we got, I'm glad you brought it up because we do have at least a schedule that was posted in the forums by Robert for the next season, and it's not too early to start looking at that schedule. But we're going to season 3. We're going to start off with Chicagoland, go to Milwaukee, and then we're going to do an interesting 2-week period. We're going to have our first meme week doubleheader of the season, and I think we're only having one this season. We're going to go to Daytona, and then the next week we're going to go to Indianapolis. So that's going to be interesting too. Of just racing crown jewel tracks back to back. Then Kansas, Iowa, Pocono, Motegi, Kentucky, Gateway, and Legacy, Michigan to round out the 12-week schedule for season 3. So we'll withhold talking about season 4 right now, but it sounds like you are kind of excited for that. And, well, if that's the case, we will definitely find a replacement for you in the booth so you can go racing. But final thoughts here before getting yours, JP. Let's get Lewis. Lewis, this time, instead of a close finish, we finished under caution.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because we like the races, this kind of races, going on green and get excited because the race was super good on the end of the race. So, but that mistake cost the yellow and the race is over for us. So, you say about Clendy. Clendy, we already knew he's the champion 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. With Tanner around, Piñero make a mistake in Indianapolis. I think so. That's the time break when in my case, in my side, thought Clendy is the champions this season 2025. So I think so. It's just like I said last week. It's just the meat is ready cooked. It's just you need to sit it and eat it and just sit on the throne and said, "Hey, I am the champion of this season." Now he can sleep and he can live and breathe good and said, "Hey, at least I get one." That's just my mark. So that is good for Clendy. So to be honest, it's just next week is New Hampshire. Like has happened in my championship with Bennett, even him, he's appeared in that race. He already knew one race before he was the champion actually in that time in the fixed series. So now in the oval, he's the one to defend next season. So we're kind of thinking about it. Who's gonna be all there? Maybe Tanner Richard. But the thing is, if you constant every week. Well, yeah, maybe like a Clendy did win the champion. So good for Oster because he really saw it struggle today in the race, and he won the race by yellow. And anyway, if it's yellow or green, he won the race. I see it's good for him. So see you Thursday with the throwback ERN. It is this Thursday. Last week I said next Thursday. But
it is Thursday. It is Thursday. Yes.
Yeah, it is this Thursday. With a throwback in Milwaukee. It's a lot of people with the throwback skins, so livery. So it's gonna be really nice to see a lot of Sam Hornich around or Sullivan or Ariel Leidendek, Salazar. So I show you the skin. I don't like it in the Indy 500 2000.
When he's on the front row.
Yeah, but I don't like that. I don't feel it's my identification for him. But anyways, So, yep, see you next one, and see you on next Tuesday on New Hampshire.
Justin, we had an interesting one here, and we kind of saw some cautions that we didn't expect from drivers we didn't expect, but almost a by the book race here at Fontana to wrap up the final crown jewel of the season here before heading to New Hampshire.
Yeah, we saw crazy racing, plenty of action, and I'm wondering how New Hampshire's going to go. Like you said, it's not one of the more well-attended splits track-wise, but I think we're going to get a good race in nonetheless. I have to at least get some track time to figure out how the race is going to go overall. But other than that, I really don't know what else to say, because majority of what I was going to say, LG took it right out of my mouth.
Well, and next week is the last race for these cars as we know them. They're going to go through a pretty substantial change. They aren't getting the hybrid, but it's going to be a big change anyways. So it's going to, the way these cars might handle differently in about 3 weeks from now is a real possibility. So and the way they race now, one more week of seeing that, and kind of almost a white sheet of paper here in about 3 more weeks when we start off at Chicagoland for season 3 of 2025. Let's get on out of here. Give everyone back their Tuesday nights. So that's going to do it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. Jacob Oster getting that crown jewel win to add to his other collection of crown jewels. He's your winner. Robert Molechko, we know, has a lot of crown jewel wins, comes home second. And Dave Mitchell with a solid podium here to get near the end of the season and try to regain some spots he missed mid-season. And that's the way to do it. You got to be closers be closing, and that's what he is attempting to do. Join us again next week for round 12, week 12 of season 2 of 2025 for Championship Tuesday of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split presented by Topia Systems. As the teams and drivers head to the Granite State and the banks of Lake Winnipesaukee for our last race of the season at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Can Clindy get that long sought-after championship? We think so. Will Tanner sneak in and grab it in the last race? Probably not, but there's still a lot to be determined. We still have second in the championship. We still have third in the championship. We still have fourth in the championship. We still have fifth in the championship. A lot of those points are still wide open. You don't want to miss it. Coverage begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern time. Again, that's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Remember, as always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy and require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split presented by Topia Systems, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2025 broadcast fund. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and making us a part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more P1's other iRacing programming, including this Saturday. As mentioned before, the IIS continues. Indy's done, so now it's time for the rest of the season. 2 p.m. Eastern time, Belle Isle top split Saturday, presented by 4D Racewear. Don't miss it. Promotional consideration paid for by the following: Topia Systems. Topia is a presenting sponsor of the Tuesday night top split here on P1. Topia is where quality and affordability go full throttle. Built with premium parts and backed by a team that really cares. Every system is tuned for gaming greatness. Topia Systems, built right, price right, game on. To learn more, check out their links in the description. SimWrap Market is your go-to source for iRacing paint templates and broadcast resources. They also offer high-quality track cam packs to give your streams and replays that polished cinematic look. Visit simwrapmarket.com today. Download, customize, race. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow on X and Instagram. All the links you need are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram, and you can follow all of our social links. If you find us on Linktree, all the links you need are in the description. So for Justin Petschauer, Luis Gonzalez-Nunez, everyone here at P1 and Topia Systems, I'm Gary Gatto saying to all, good night, and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in New Hampshire for Championship Tuesday in the next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night. Top split on P1 presented by Topia Systems. Good night, everybody.